Two shags in the building.
God.
Whoa, swerve on these bitches. They all get naked and they know I'm taking pictures. I'm Dirk Diggler in the sheets. I'm a beast, believe. I'm the freak you need, so come and ride with me. Cause I swerve on these bitches. They all get naked and they know I'm taking pictures. I'm Dirk Diggler in the sheets. I'm a beast, believe. I'm the freak you need, so come and ride with me. Cause I swerve on these bitches and they all get naked and they all showing titties. Do a little dance for some hundreds of kitties. Trying to get a little busy, fuck up this whole city. Come with me. I'm the dude you wanna know. You want some Molly, draw a blow. Don't mind me while I roll. I'm just really in my zone. I just did a line of coke. I can barely feel my throat. And these hoes are on the flow, so I'm just trying to watch them walk. So dollars in the air, stop it. Bitch, pick them up and get your hands on my wallet. Acting like that, you ain't gonna get the monster. Keep the pussy popping. Did you hear me say stop it? Dollars out the pocket. Looking like that, I'm leaning and rocking. It ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. I'm just a dope motherfucker going crazy. Cause I swerve on these bitches. They all get naked and they know I'm taking pictures. I'm Dirk Diggler in the sheets.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Sundays, motherfucker.
SparkUp motherfucking Sundays. That was that Dirk Diggler by Sony Heggs. You know, we always gotta plug somebody from SparkUp Music. You know, that's how we do this. You know what I mean? So today, for the second podcast, what we got 6ix9ine. More talk about his case from 2015. We got that J. Cole freestyle and project announcement. It's really smooth the way he did that. We got talk about Mac and Travis Scott's project. Not a duo project. Two separate Johns. Summer Madness just happened yesterday.
Sure did.
The Venom trailer, and we're gonna end with some sports talk. So, to start this off with the 6ix9ine issue, you know what I mean? So he had the case back in 2015. You know about the alleged. Well, not alleged because he was convicted and he took a deal.
Sure was.
That he had the minor in his video, naked, dancing.
Well, first off, what my brother failed to do here was introduce us, but we're going to get this right.
I feel like y'all should know. Y'all saw the last one.
I know our fucking voices.
Yeah, you know what it is. But, okay, so, Poor Little Rich.
Young proper.
You know what I mean? Shawnee Heggs and movie making Mitch are both on vacation, but they'll be back next week. Don't worry.
Yay.
But back to the 6ix9ine. This guy. Hold on, before we even talk about him, did you even see that a female rapper, I forget her name, she's like up and coming, I think she's from LA. She got a tattoo, the same 6ix9ine tattoo on her forehead.
I seen a I know who you're talking about.
Shit is fucking wild, dude.
I seen a picture of her and she dyed her hair rainbow too. And she has the same grill and she has the same My Little Pony chain.
That's fucking crazy.
I mean, you know what? I'll tell you this. I wasn't as off-put as I was seeing a grown man with that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Do your own thing, but like, it's nuts.
No one talks about Lil Pump. He's got multicolored dreads. They're not.
He does.
They're not. It's not rainbow hair, but he does have multicolored dreads.
I'm not for all this shit, bro. Like, yeah, if that's what you want to do, that's what you do. But like, no, that's for me. Like, I'm good with a baldy. You know what I mean?
The issue at hand, like we said, you know, he had the case back in 2015 with the minor, and his deal he made with the DA and everyone was that he had to get his GED, correct?
Or high school diploma.
And he had 3 years to do it.
Yep.
Because he was actually facing a 3-year sentence.
Yep.
So this is the clock's ticking now. I'm pretty sure he has till the end of 2018. And the DA actually wrote a letter saying that, you know, if it doesn't happen soon, they're gonna file for that man to have to do the maximum 3 years. So
it's looking rough for you, boy.
Right? But the question is now, if he does do it, and he does have to not do any time or anything, I think he has to do probation, but it's nothing as severe as doing the 3 years, you know what I mean, upstate. Right. So
I got a question for you. If he gets his diploma or his GED and he's cleared of all charges, do you still look at him like a sex offender? Because at the end of the day, there was a little girl in the video that was naked. She was 14. So like that did happen. But if he's cleared of all charges, do you still look at him as a sex offender? And I want the listeners to weigh in on that too. Hit us up on the Twitter page.
Yeah, you know, hit us up on the Twitter page, comment on the YouTube, you know what I mean, the video, just let us know. But how I feel about it is that I think, you know, he'll still be in the eyes of most of the public. He'll still be a sex offender, but really, you can get put on the sex offender list by taking a piss in a park by a playground. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like...
So, like, at the end of the day, what he did definitely was worse than that. You know what I mean? But, like, there's people who, you know, like, do you consider him a sex offender? Because he technically didn't do anything really, like, sexual. And, if I remember correctly from the trial and all that, was that he said that she didn't, she provided an ID that said she was of age.
All right. Now, with that being said,
nigga got Akon.
He got Akon.
Real shit.
You put the blame on me. Look, face ass. Yo, it's rough, man, because you gotta, like, me personally, I like to play devil's advocate on things. Like, I understand where you're coming from, but you also have to put yourself in the shoes of her parents.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I'm a parent myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, if I know my 14-year-old daughter, if she's in a music video butt-ass naked, there are two things happening, and one of which involves me going to jail because I'm killing her and I'm killing this nigga and everybody who had something to do with it. Like, yo... What did Joe Biden say?
Shit. I can
Biden citizen style. I'm coming for everybody.
Yeah, no, real shit. I mean, yeah. Like, so, like, there's two sides to every coin. There's going to be people who say that he still is, and then there's still those people who say, well, like the Akon situation, she was in a club. You know what I'm saying?
That was 21 and over.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, at the end of the day, it's like... And a lot of these young girls, they dress and they act like they're older. You know what I'm saying? So, like... It's easy for somebody to get caught up. You know what I'm saying? If you gotta have like crazy keen judgment to be like, nah, I know that that's a fake ID. And it's like, who's gonna look at an ID and be like, oh yeah, I know for a fact that that's a fake ID. Like, you know what I mean? Unless it's like really fucking shitty, like fucking.
I've seen my fair share of fake IDs, and I can say like, there are some crazy fake IDs, like, and people just let them slide. Like, yo. This kid I seen, he was like a twig. Like, he looked like he was a steroid baby. Like, he was bad. He had a fake ID that looked like fucking Mike Tyson, dude. Like, it was fucking rough. Like, you know what I mean? Like the picture on the ID, like, this dude, you can just tell. Like, you can see the veins bulging out of his fucking neck and shit. Like, yeah, that's not you, bro. Like, would you stop lifting 10 years ago?
Yeah, right.
Like, nah. See, like, some of that shit's just bullshit. And, like, yeah, I understand, you know, because, like, a lot of these chicks do look like they're a lot older, and a lot of it comes down to what they learn at home. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like, I seen a video the other day, and the caption was perfect. It said, a lot of these young girls think that this shit is cute, and it was a video of like a fucking 2-year-old dancing like she was a stripper.
Right, yeah.
And like everyone was around her throwing dollars at her, like, yeah, hey, and it's like at the end of the day, like, she's gonna grow up thinking that shit is normal.
Right. And see, that's my biggest fear in society, because like it's acceptable now for like shit like that to happen. Like, the little kids be at a party grinding up on each other and shit while they're dancing. Like, no, like, back in my day, my mom would have whipped my ass. Like, if you don't get off that little girl, you know what it is.
Exactly.
It's crazy. What else we got on the board, though,
so
man?
to move on to the next is that it's Mr. Jermaine Cole.
J. Cole with the album of the year freestyle.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, man. I didn't hear it, so you're gonna have to weigh in on this.
It was solid for what it was. You know what I mean? It was sort of like there's gonna be more. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. That's the sense I got when I listened to it. Like, it was one of those, like, just because if you look at his, you know, reputation from, not reputation, but I can't think of the word, but like his releasing, all his releasings, there was years apart. You know what I mean? Like, right. I'm pretty sure it was like Forest Hill Drive, and then like 2 years or 2 years or two and a half years later, it was fucking For Your Eyes Only. You know what I mean? And then like I think it was like a year and a half later was
KOD.
So it was like, you know, you would expect that his timeline, there you go, his timeline would be, you know, there would be a gap involved, and like when when this song came out, it was like, all right, so we know he's still working, he's still in the lab, and he's still doing something. Oh, yeah, and he announced the the project off season, which kind of, if you listen to you see the last track on the project before the bonus, that was the "Come at Lil Pump," which really wasn't a diss on Lil Pump. It was more so like a sit down to the younger generation, like, you know what I mean. But he said the title of the track was the introduction to the Fall Off. Right. And now he says the next project is going to be called the Off Season. And I mean, that hasn't been confirmed or not, but it was stated in the video. You know what I mean? So, all right, I'm with it if he drops again. You know what I mean? I like to see consistency in artists like that, but I also don't want them to feel like that's what they have to do. You know what I mean? Right. I want them to be able to be comfortable and release when they want to release, how they want to release. You know what I mean?
See, but the problem with that lies in the record company. Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, the problem with that lies in the record company because, like, they have timelines. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but doesn't he own his own label now?
Well, yeah, but, like, is his label under Rock Nation? That's the question.
It is, but you gotta have to assume that, after having, 3-4 solid projects, that Jay-Z and all them people over at Rock Nation and, you know what I mean, would be like, you could do what you want to do. You know what I mean? So I don't think they're really pressing this man to release music. You know what I mean? Because they know when he does release, it brings
the masses out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He has that name. Like, he's at that level of stardom to where he can drop every 3 years from this point on, and every time he releases, people are still gonna fuck with it because, you know what I mean? Everybody loves it. For the most
part, man, like, it's rough because, like, you can't take that for granted though, because, like, at the end of the day, like, look at Weezy's fan base. That shit's been cut in fractions, just because of how long he took off. Because it's been years since he, like, released something of greater value.
Yeah, Weezy also has a longer time in the game. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where and you got to realize, like, even if you look at, like, Jay-Z, like, his fan base isn't as strong as it used to be. That's why a lot of times he does a lot of things with Beyonce now.
No, yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm not saying like he can't bring a crowd out, but what I'm saying is, you ask people. There's people that are like, excuse me. There's people that are like, I don't even really fuck with Jay-Z no more. You know what I mean? Right. And like then he's getting all the Beyonce buzz brought over with him too. You know what I'm saying?
See, but like the thing with Jay-Z is the fact that he's been in the game so long. This kind of plays into what you're saying. The fact that he's been in the game so long, he does bring a crowd out. And he's been... Did I just pocket your lighter?
I think you did.
Sure did. The fact that he's been in the game so long, you look at it and it's like, okay, when he does come out, he does bring the crowd out, you're right. And he's also charging like $80 and up for a ticket, you know what I mean? So... He's generating money, and at the same time, it's like his net worth is so fucking high. Even if he wasn't personally generating money, everything around him generates money. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So he's.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he's like hurting for bread, and that's why that's what it is. It's like when you reach a certain level, you're not gonna be this shit forever, but you can remain constant, which is what he's been doing, right? And. That's why he had the collab project with Ye, a couple years back.
What I like that he did, though, was start a foundation. You know what I mean? Something that you can have your name attached to beyond music. Because at the end of the day, like, we all as artists have, like, a decline in, I don't want to say talent, but, like, let's say stardom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll have a decline in stardom, which means the fan base kind of drops. Which means there's less money coming in now. You know what I mean? So there should be something like in anything in life. You know what I mean? Like you always want a fallback idea, and I feel like since he has this set up now, you know what I mean? Since he has what is the Dreamville Foundation, or
well, no, Dreamville is J. Cole's thing.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, you're talking about J. Cole now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the foundation that he has signed. Or that he has up now, like he's generating money for underprivileged youth, and I say it, and it sounds such a minuscule thing, but like it's so appreciated by all the little communities and even the bigger communities, the bigger metropolises and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because like those are the places where you see some of the highest poverty levels because everything's so much so much more expensive, and kids who can't afford like just simple things like book bags, like they're getting that shit now. And not saying that he's the only person doing it, because clearly he's not. You have somebody like LeBron James who just opened a whole school, which is amazing. Amazing. He opened a school. But like he has something that his name is on. You know what I mean? He has a legacy now beyond his music. And that's where him and Jay-Z are like even at, you know what I mean? They're on that same level. And the reason I say that is because not so much of the foundations and stuff, but the legacy that lives on behind your name.
Yeah.
After music could be possibly over for you.
Because there was a little while, the longevity.
Like, do you remember like when a lot of people were counting Jay-Z out as far as music goes, in like 2000, like around like 2006-ish, 2007-ish, you know what I mean? A lot of people are like, all right, well, the fuck, this nigga's not doing shit. He's not saying nothing. He's old. The sound is changing, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna bounce back and show all these motherfuckers that I'm fucking Ho for a reason. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like niggas look up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Niggas look up the Rock because I made that possible.
Yeah.
This is my legacy.
Yeah. And like, there's always, that's what I'm saying. Like, and then he's at like that. He's obviously at a higher level than J. Cole, but when you realize like you'll always keep going up because you'll keep doing things like that, and that's how you keep going up. You keep, you keep your name relevant by things not just related to music. You can't you can't stay stagnant.
Right.
You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, you gotta think like even shit that has like I said, shit that has nothing to do with music. My man's managing NBA players and NFL players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A legacy.
He's part owner of the Brooklyn Nets too, I believe, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, he has a. All right. See, wait. I got a little thing, yo. Niggas is funny as shit, yo. Because it don't matter how much we own of something. If we got a percentage of that shit, we own that shit, yo. Like, Hope is a very rich man, and I will never say that he's not. But that man put it in our minds that he owns a lot more of the Brooklyn Nets than he really does.
Yeah.
Like, he owns enough that man's got floor seats.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's the same thing with Will Smith. He has a bid in with the Sixers.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, he's
a lot of the big names from the cities normally chip in with their sports.
He's got a little bit of influence, but he's not calling shots. That's the point. What I mean?
No.
That's the point that I'm getting to. Like, but yeah, like he does have partial ownership of it, which does mean a lot, especially to like regular civilians like ourselves, because fuck.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Partial ownership.
Right.
I got ownership. I think of my car. There you go. That's what I own.
Right.
And the massive amounts of fucking debt.
Yeah. I own some bills.
The fucking debt. The fucking. So, hopefully, J. Cole's not just teasing us, and he's actually gonna, produce another, even if it's just like a mixtape.
Yo.
Like, even if the mixtape's called The Off Season, and then the actual project's called The Fall Off.
Yo,
like,
I
you know what I'm saying?
At least one song off of KOD daily. Like,
oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that. And the same for Forest Hill Drive. Like that album gets fully played at least twice a month with my music catalog. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so I'm definitely looking forward to his new project if that is what's to come.
Yes, exactly. So keeping it with the music, we're gonna talk right now about Mac Miller's Sleeping.
Speaking of projects.
And Travis Scott's...
What? Swimming.
Swimming, yes.
Swimming.
Mac Miller's Swimming and Travis Scott's...
AstroWorld.
I dig Mac's over Travis's. I did get the chance to listen to it. I know these dropped, I think it was last week or the week before that, but, we wanted to, needed to have time to listen to it and all that. So, I definitely go with Mac's...
I mean, not that they're in competition.
Yeah, no, that's not that they're in competition, but since they did release
at the same time, it kind of subconsciously breeds competition.
Yeah, it's like who's going to sell the most, and it's with anything. You know what I mean? People all the time, they set up releases around things like movies. Definitely do it big time too. They set releases up around other movies to compete.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's like who's going to do better? Because if you release your movie in a swarm of expected movies, things that people are really waiting for, and your movie dominates, your movie was, at least box office, amount wise, the better movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like critic wise, that's something different. That's a whole different beast. You know what I'm saying? But
I feel like honestly, Travis will sell more, but Max definitely resonated more.
Yeah, I liked that it had that. I can't even say like old school anymore because when I say that, a lot of people still think like boom bap. It definitely wasn't boom bap. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like it had the sampling, it had, you know what I mean, the smooth, the swing. It had a lot of things that really gave you like that relaxed feeling. It wasn't, like a lot of projects now are all about like, either like, deep drama or, like turning up and being extra fucking
down for what?
Yeah, so like now this was like something in the middle, and it was something I feel like a lot of people can enjoy. Like Travis Scott's project, I'm not saying it was horrible. I'm saying it's something that like I can't listen to it continuously.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those ones where like I can listen to a song every once in a while. Like when you go back to, Rodeo, I could listen to songs off of that project. I could listen to that whole project
consistently. My favorite Travis Scott project is still Days Before Rodeo. That
was a mixtape though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's still a project.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that shit was fire. Like there was not one song on that whole mixtape that I would skip. Like every song was fire. Every single song. I need that Travis Scott, damn it.
I mean, I even liked the one after that. What was it? Birds in the Trap. Mm-hmm. That joint was dope too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This was just, I feel like, and it's hard to say this like because his production was really dope on it too. But like, I feel like it's like eerily similar to the production on Birds in the Trap.
All right, so like, essentially what you're saying is the production has become stagnant.
Yeah, and like the song, like even song style and like just everything really had like a same feel. It's just like how I felt about Wiz Khalifa's project.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like it felt like mixtape Wiz, like he took a step back, and like I can understand maybe why he did it because Wiz Khalifa, he did go like off from that sound of his old mixtapes and projects,
right?
And now he might be thinking, oh, well, let me bring it back to when shit was popping. You know what I'm saying? Right. And try and bring back those people. But you gotta realize those people have grown. Their tastes have changed. You know what I mean? So not everyone's gonna want that sound. A lot of people like progress. Not there's some people that want you to be like, no, I want you to be like this 24/7. Your music to always stay like this because this is the way I like it. But that's not the nature of the beast. Right, exactly. You know what I mean? The nature of the beast is progress. It's moving. It's going forward. And I don't know. I don't know if Travis Scott probably did. Maybe I have to listen to it a couple more times. I've only listened to it I think like once and 1.5 times. Like I went like halfway through it another time. I didn't go all the way through it. So I'm gonna keep listening to it, and obviously opinions will change. You know what I mean? I could end up becoming in having a mindset and listen to that project and it just clicks and I fucking love it. Like, you know what I mean? Right. So it's like there's so many songs like what song? 6ix9ine song when he first bringing him back around full circle. Right. His first song, the Gummo drum, the Gummo, whatever it was, that drum, I hated that song, and it was mostly because of my perception of him when I first seen him. Right. So like I didn't give it a chance, but then when it was like I had a little bit of time had passed and I had heard the song again and I didn't see his face with the song, I was like, oh, this joint's a banger. And then when I realized it was both of them together, like I had completely forgotten that was even his song by this point in time. And when I heard them both together and I put them both together, I was like, oh well, that's him, but that song's a banger. So like tastes do change.
Because at the end of the day, you can't take away from talent.
Yeah,
like if someone's talented, they're talented.
Yeah, exactly.
And not saying he's like the greatest lyricist in the world, because he's clearly not. Like, he said it himself. There was a song, and he was like, well, I wrote this in 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, if you think that shit's fire, like, I wrote it in 5 minutes.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, you know, Tupac knocked out 5 songs a day.
But Tupac was also a strong-ass lyricist.
He was.
A lot of people forget, like, Tupac went to art school. He was a creative. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these newer artists, their personas put together by record labels. And that was something that, if you know hip-hop, you know no one was controlling pop. You know what I mean? People might have been like, they might have had little influences, you know what I mean? Because to say Suge Knight wasn't an influence on Tupac would be a blatant lie.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, he wasn't like, Pac, you're doing this. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, as to where, like, Treyway could probably turn around and be like, look, Daniel, if you don't do this, I'm going to fuck you up. Like, you know what I mean? And that's what it is. That's what it is.
Put that man's fucking government out there, too.
Well, everybody knows his name is Daniel. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Man.
So
let's switch it up, yo. We about to get into some motherfucking battle rap shit, though.
Yeah, you know.
Yo.
Summer Madness 7, right?
205. Philly, we in the building. We fucking did it. We fucking did it. Yo. I know it's not the fucking the headline. It wasn't the main event, but it's the main event to motherfucking me. And this is what matters. T-Rex versus motherfucking Reed Dollars. I called it straight down the motherfucking middle, and I gave it to Reed 2-1. And just like I predicted, that's what the fuck happened. 2-1 Reed. Philly, we back in the motherfucking building. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
It was great. Honestly, it was a great battle. Rex opened up his first round. He went first. His first round was crazy. He went the fuck off. They were out in Vegas. Beautiful venue. Out in Vegas, a lot of people don't realize that, like, places in Vegas are a lot bigger than places everywhere else. So when you say a small room in New York City, you're thinking maybe 100, 200 people.
The whole battle was a small room battle?
Well, this is the point that I'm making now. When you say a small room in New York City, it's like 100, 200 people. When you say a small room in Las Vegas, they packed 1,000 people in that bitch.
Jesus Christ.
So it was a big stage. We'll put it like that. It was a big stage.
Yeah, call it down the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Calling it down the middle.
Because, I mean, like, really, it's the amount of people you could fit in there is really how I normally judge the importance of the venue. You know what I mean? If you could fit 800 people, but the venue 2 blocks over can fit 3,000, it's a bigger venue to be in the 3,000 than 800 people.
But like with battle rap, like a lot of it's like wittiness and like wordplay and shit like that. So sometimes a small room can work in your favor as far as the intimacy. You know what I mean? With the crowd. But all right, so this was the lineup. It was Hitman Holla versus Tay-Rock, which was the main event. Reed Dollars versus T-Rex, which was the co-main event. Iron Solomon versus Sue Surf, which didn't happen because Sue Surf had some shit he had to do, and unfortunately he ended up getting shot or whatever. Bounce back. But Iron Solomon went on to verse JC rather, and in my personal opinion, it was a battle of the night. A lot of people feel that way as well. Who else battled in this card? This card was crazy. New Jersey Twerk versus DNA. Yo.
Twerk is nuts. From what I've seen.
New Jersey Twerk is a fucking problem. DNA did his fucking thing. He was in rare form. The PG Killer was in the building. Math Hoffa versus Av. I didn't get to watch this battle, so I'm not going to call this one. But it seems like a good battle because anybody who knows Av has like the craziest and some of the most consistent punchlines in the battle rap industry. O-Red versus Ill Will was a really weird match. O-Red had a decent first along with Ill Will, and then O-Red lost his voice.
Whoa, wait, in the middle of the battle?
In the middle of the battle, he lost his voice.
That fucking sucks.
And ended up getting skipped his second round.
Wait, did he finish it out or no?
He finished the battle, but he only had 2 rounds. So like,
so wait, I don't get it though. So they wait, who did he go against?
So he went. It was O-Red versus Ill Will. Ill Will went first. O-Red went second in spit. It was O-Red's turn next. O-Red had lost his voice from spitting his first round, which was crazy because he just won Champion of the Year last year.
Yeah, but sometimes shit happens. Bro.
Sometimes shit happens,
like,
but it was.
You don't want that to happen at that stage.
Let me tell you this: shit happens, but when shit happens, there's certain ways to handle shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yo, so apparently, this is how fucking weird this was. So, like I said, Ill Will spits first, and he's got a decent round. He opens it up. O-Red spits next. I'm sorry. O-Red spits first. Ill Will spits next. It's O-Red's turn to spit again. He can't because his fucking voice is gone. So, niggas is like, you know how a crowd is. They just paid to see somebody fucking perform, and you got 2 rounds. So they're opening him up. The crowd's opening this nigga up. Ill Will's on stage like, look, this is my fucking W right now.
Yeah,
fuck
like,
this nigga. You know what I mean? Like,
he got 3 rounds. He got 3 rounds. Homie only got 2.
One of Ill Will's boys has a pack of Halls, right? And O-Red's like, let me get one. And he's like, no, no. And they have a whole argument. And it's like, it's weird. And Ill Will turns around and he's looking at Smack and he's like, yo, he's got Halls. Tell him to give me a Halls. Like, Smack's supposed to fucking do something. It was so funny. It was crazy. But Ill Will ended up just going. He was like, look, all right, if he ain't gonna rap, I'm gonna rap. You know what I mean?
Like, he had 3 rounds.
And that's what he did. He went. And then O-Red spit his third. And his third was all right. And it seemed like his third would have been hit a lot harder if he had that second.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And honestly, we might be talking about a different way that battle ended. But obviously, because it was 4 rounds to 2 rounds, you got to give it to Ill Will. The last battle, Shotgun Suge, this was actually the first battle that take place tonight. Shotgun Suge versus Geechee Gotti. Geechee Gotti, let me talk to you. From me to you, you gotta stop doing niggas like this, please.
He did him dirty.
It's not fair. It's not fair to the other battle rappers. Like, we get it. You are a Crip from Compton. You are the real thing. Stop projecting your negativity and your product of your environment on this industry. Yo, this man, Suge's known for asking people what their life like. You don't ask the wrong person what his life was like, bro. Like, yo, it was crazy.
So all in all,
it was looking like it could have been contender for battle of the night. Then Suge dropped his 3rd round at the end of his 3rd round. Like he just
dropped the ball.
Jersey. like that's what it was. So man.
So all in all,
Geechee,
how do you think that the whole thing?
The event was crazy. The event was beautiful. It definitely was a success. Everything went flawless, I should say. The stream was beautiful. Avocado, you did it again. 4K streaming, crazy. Yo, go check it out. Summer Madness. WatchBattleLive.com. Go register and they'll drop that stream for you. Like I said, it's flawless. It's beautiful. Definitely check that out.
And I'm not even a real big battle rap person, but I'm going to check that out because half the people on that card are actual battle rappers that I know.
Oh, yeah, and as far as battle rap goes, Philly runs New York right now. Yeah.
That's a statement?
You heard that first.
That's a statement. That's a fucking statement.
From Young Problem.
All right, so off of this, we're going to go into some entertainment and sports. The only real entertainment we really have to talk about is this Venom trailer that dropped 2 weeks ago.
Fire.
Yeah, it was insane. Headbutting fucking 2 symbiotes just breaking apart from each other and
everything
pulled straight from the comic.
Also, the only thing that they don't have that's straight from the comic, they haven't introduced at least yet, was the spider's emblem on his chest.
Spider symbol.
But who's to say that's not to come in a part 2 or a trailer at the end.
Well, I mean, from what I've been seeing, I can't confirm or deny any of this. It's just things that I've seen from, videos that I watch, trying to keep up with some of the, the movie news and things like that, is that Venom is now not going to be a rated R movie.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be a PG-13 movie, which means we can already nix out the head biting and all that gore, I feel like it's really going to damage the movie a lot, honestly. He's a rated R character.
I'm just waiting for the director's cut on 4K, you know what I mean? So,
but I mean that takes away from it though, because I want to see that Venom from the beginning. Give me that Venom the same way you gave me Deadpool, same way you gave me Logan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give me these characters. I've seen these characters before. You saw Deadpool in X-Men Origins when he was just Weapon X,
right?
And then you see
essentially, I want to see what he was doing in the comics on.
Yeah, I want to see that shit really resonate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I understand why they might be doing it. Like I said, I can't confirm or deny it, but what I can understand in their reasoning. One, I did hear that the movie was tracking bad for when the pre-sales were about to start. A lot of talks and a lot of surveys they did. People weren't saying they were going to go see it. So that could be why. Because I mean, a rated R movie is something that you can't bring your kids to. So if you're out and about with your children and your kids are like, hey, I want to go to the movies. You can only go see PG-13 or lower. You're not going to take a fucking 10-year-old to go see, someone getting their head bit off.
I don't know, yo.
General masses.
I've been dragged to some fucked up movies. I remember being a little kid and my mom taking me to see Scream 2. I had no business. Let's make this clear. Here's a little story. We go up to the theater on 69th Street. My mom, she buys a couple tickets because my sisters were with us to Scream 2 the movie. So we're in there. It's dark as fuck. I have no idea what this shit is about. But I do know it has to do with somebody in a ghost mask and a fucking knife. So I'm already shook because I'm a little ass kid. I'm full blown shook. So halfway through the movie, me being a little fat pudgy kid I'm sitting there munching on popcorn and pretzels and got this big ass soda, and I killed this soda. And the scene that I'm watching is a scene where Jada Pinkett Smith and Omar Epps are in the movie theater, and Omar Epps goes to the bathroom and he hears something coming from the stall next to him.
Yeah.
And he's listening on some weirdo creep shit, and he gets stabbed through the wall in his ear with the knife. And I just watched this as maybe an 8-year-old. You know what I mean? And the only thing I'm thinking in the back of my head is,
this nigga's in the bathroom
I gotta take a piss so bad right now. Yo, let me tell you, I damn near cried the whole time I was pissing in this bathroom, yo. I swear to God, I was so fucking shook, yo.
No, that I got a story like that. That was me when I saw Cujo. I had went to a friend of mine's house. He lived down the street, and I was staying over, and I was like, shit, I had to be 7, and his dad was like, all right, we're gonna watch Cujo. And he's like, it's a scary movie. You gonna be good? And I was horrible with horror movies when I was younger. Freddy, Michael, Autumn. Yo, my sister used to torture me watching them movies. That shit used to kill me. But so I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Trying to act all tough and shit. He puts the movie on. Yo, halfway through the movie, I forget exactly how the scene goes, but the dog just goes rabid on somebody, bro. The way he popped out and fucked this dude up. Yo, I got up, I darted out the door, dog. I was only live 6 blocks down. I ran my ass home. I was like, fuck this shit. I'm fucking done.
That's crazy.
I was like, I'm fucking done. Fuck that. But I wanna but again, you see, but most people won't do that because of that. You know what I mean? So it's one of those situations where you're like, what do you do?
Yo, man. All right, yo.
So getting to the end of this podcast, we're getting into some sports talk.
Yeah, man. Our Phillies fell back into second place. They're half a game behind the Braves.
But we're still looking good to hit that postseason.
Yeah,
still looking good. I think we need. Last thing I heard was we need one more win to match our win from last year.
Oh, excuse me.
And we still have 7 more weeks left of
I'm
season.
sorry, I was mistaken.
Oh.
We are tied for first place.
Ah.
So as of right now, the Braves record is 64 and 51. Our record is 65 and 52. So we have one more win, but we also have one more loss than them.
Yes.
So
that's why we're tied.
We're tied for first place.
It's looking good for the post.
Yes.
And we need one more win, and we'll have tied our winning record from last year. And there's still 7 more weeks left in the season, so it's looking good as long as we keep on keeping on. You know what I mean? Which is definitely looking good for the city to get another chip, man.
Yes.
It's definitely looking good for the city to get another chip. I mean, the Sixers, they tried. The Flyers, they tried. But I got to give it up to all of them because, I mean, there was a time when we weren't hitting anything. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We were just playing the season and just watching the post just like, we got next year. Like, you know what I mean? And now it's like every time we turn around, Philly's up there. You know what I mean? Like, all our sports teams really, really started to mesh together and started to really, really work well.
You got to see some things this week. Last Thursday,
the Eagles done lost.
Yeah, they lost,
what was that, 34-14?
34-14. But it's week 1 of the preseason. Now it's week 2 of the preseason.
Who we go against next?
We go against the Patriots. Another Thursday game, so a little rematch. But
it's all the rookies. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
all the back strings.
We're not starting anybody important.
Yeah, I mean, but
good news. Earlier this morning, I was down at the Eagles training camp at the NovaCare complex.
Nice.
And we had Nick Foles helmet on today. Yeah, so he's practicing.
You think they might throw him in the game just so he can get a couple warm ups? I feel like
couple reps.
I feel like that's good. That's the whole point of the preseason. Like, a lot of teams don't really take that opportunity. It's like they were like, yeah, obviously it's to see how your rookies are going to do, but you know, you got to give your players haven't, especially if you didn't make it to the playoffs or postseason, whatever. If you didn't make it to that, your quarterback hasn't thrown a pass in a live game with actual like people really gunning for him and not just his own teammates. Because, that's always a different feel. Like, I played football. I'm not 100% sure if you played football.
I did.
But when you would practice with your teammates, obviously you go hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're going like it's a real game. But at the same time, when you're really going against somebody else, you don't know this nigga. And his only goal is to fuck you up.
Yeah, man.
Like, it's a different ball game.
It is definitely a different ball game, man.
And you want to give them that opportunity to get the cobwebs off from the last season.
Speaking of different ball game, I was down at the NovaCare complex, and I just want to establish, Lane Johnson is a fucking monster. Like, I've never physically been intimidated by a human being until I've seen this man. That man towers up. Like, I'm not exactly sure. I feel like I'm roughly around, like, I'm 5'10 and a half, 5'11, you know what I mean? This man towered over me. Like, he is huge as shit.
Oh, you, like, met him?
No, I didn't meet him, but, like, you can tell somebody's big as fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I had to be, like, maybe, like, 10 feet away from this man. Like, he is a fucking monster. Like, it makes no sense.
But I'm hoping we can bring another chip with the Phillies, and I'm hoping that the Eagles repeat. I mean, they were looking good, even with our rookies. They weren't looking that bad.
I mean, although we picked up another quarterback too.
Although what's his name was really, really bad with the turnovers. The fuck is our third string quarterback's name?
Who? Nate Sudfeld?
Yes, that's that fucking guy.
Like, once again, it's preseason and he's a third string quarterback. I'm not gonna sit there and.
I'm not judging the whole team off of that either.
Right, exactly, I mean? And that's exactly what I'm about to get into. Like, you can't judge a whole team off of a player's performance, but at the same time, there was some shit our secondary was blowing. And granted, it was second. Most of them were second stream, but at the same time, like if you got to make these plays. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like you have to make these plays. This is why you're here. This is why. This
We're
is the weeding out
champs.
process. Yeah, exactly. This is the weeding out process. So like, if our mantra and our motto is going to be next man up, if you're the next man up, you need to perform.
Exactly.
Simple and plain. Like,
Exactly.
But yeah, like I said, the Eagles picked up a quarterback, Christian Hackenberg. I don't want to slaughter his name, but I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, Hackenberg. And they actually waived the center Ian Park. But hey, like I said, that's what the preseason's for, so we can figure out who's going to be here long term,
exactly,
or who's going to be here for the rest of the ride this season.
And I mean, I feel like especially those rookies that get picked up and then you get let go. You get let go before the season even starts, and now you're just a free agent floating around that's never even had his first year. It's like, what did you did all this. You worked so hard. You played football probably from the pee-wee to fucking grade school to high school to college. Now you get your shot to be on an NFL team. You get drafted, and then you just drop the fucking ball. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, what did you do all that for? What was everything that you did? You didn't.
Right,
It's like you got the, like, you were like touching on it. It's like it was there. It was a physical thing, and you just went and just let it go.
See, but like a lot of people think like if you get waived by a team, or if a team doesn't pick you up, that's it. Like it's not over. It's not the end of the ride. Like you still have a chance. Like you can go out for another team. You can try to get on a walk on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you gotta realize that
for a practice squad for a team. Like there's different ways you can make it in the NFL without actually being on the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then you also gotta realize, like, most of the people that, like you going to be a football player, when you get let go, that's a shot to the ego that some people can't recover from. You know what I mean? And that shame follows you. So like, even if you do keep your wits about you, and you're like, I'm gonna fucking keep going, you're gonna go to another team and they're gonna be like, well, damn, they let you go preseason. And like they let you go mid-season, letting you go mid-season. I feel like it's even worse.
I mean, but sometimes you can also look at it like, not all the time people are let go because of their physical attributes. Sometimes they're let go because of the shit that follows them around off the field. You know what I mean?
You're right.
So it's like
that's even worse.
That's exactly like I'd rather. Not saying like it's the greatest thing, but like I'd rather be released because like I genuinely didn't make the team than released because I got this fucking charge that, you know what I mean, that I didn't let nobody know about, or I got this charge that's been hanging over my head since my college years, or it's just rough. It's rough because like at the end of the day, you have a responsibility. You have a responsibility as an athlete to hold yourself to a higher standard. So you're not getting caught up with all the fuckery and all the flashy lights and all these fast women and all the fucking thugs and you know what I mean? Like you got to channel that shit out because at the end of the day, you're here to do one thing. That's play football.
Exactly.
That's play football. More than one thing. Play football and get this bread and leave that legacy behind.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Get that gold coat because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's all about getting that gold jacket. So that's the podcast. SparkUp Sundays. Y'all know what it is.
You know what I'm saying? Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Check out our YouTube page. You know, it's SparkUp Music Officials. SparkUp Music Officials on YouTube. We're under our banner. We don't actually have our own YouTube page yet. When we start kicking up with them visuals more, we'll definitely start putting them out. But the audios will be on YouTube, SoundCloud. You know, you can find us at, soundcloud.com/SparkUp Sundays Podcast. And we're out. Now that we on, all the haters be gone. All the weed that we blown, bitch, I'm high. Now that we on, all the haters be gone. All the weed that we blown, bitch, I'm high. See, I've been giving out these lessons, how to fix your death perception.
I can teach you about inceptions, break your dreams out into sections.
Hold on, prop, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
But why they sleeping on this, nigga?
Well, that's a question itself.
Man, that shit would make me question myself. I had to question myself.
You smoke too much, put that bone back on the shelf. But keep the lighter, what I spit makes the flame burn brighter.
Spark up, we that pit, ain't no gang, roll tighter.
Inhale, exhale, I've been chiefing for a minute, riding with a Pocahontas and a thing that ain't rented.
Alright, Rich, I see you stunting, sit back, just let me get it. Chauffeur, no Uber, but the window stay tinted.
What's your limit, nigga? I ain't been to Mars in a minute. Talking M's on M's, them candy bars are delicious.
Nigga, please, give me a reason to act crazy. The pump diabetes, it'll take your whole leg.
But who's to say that there'll even be a body left to take?
Pop up at your place, you won't see a body at the wake. I'm body in the case, have your mama leaking out her face.
He was jumping shortstop, caught him reaching for the plate. I mean, now that we on, all the haters be gone. All the weed that we blown, bitch, I'm high. Now that we on, all the haters be gone. All the weed that we blown, bitch, I'm high.